believers all over the world, good afternoon. May you be blessed in your household, and may you remain blessed and a blessing to your generation. This is the Counselor, the King Messiah, and I want to use this medium to respond to the message by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, over the end hunger crisis. I have done a live video day before yesterday, being 5th of August, on my Facebook page, Apostle abbreviation APST-L, Destiny Counselor Satwame. You go there, you see it on my wall, and I've shared it to several groups and pages. It's in the winners group, and it's also in Redeemed Christian Church group. Now, because the video was a very long one, it was approximately 3 hours video, so I'm going to summarize everything I pointed out there in 10 minutes, because I couldn't share that one from my live Facebook to my TikTok and my YouTube. So I'm going to use this 10 minutes to emphasize on all those key points, post from my TikTok and share across other my social medias. Now, the president has failed himself, he has failed his party, he has failed Nigerians, and he has failed his family. Why? You go to my S handle, former Twitter, you see immediately they declared him the president. All my previous posts were against his declaration, confirming that I was an obedient as at then, and I was one of the major sponsors of the Labour Party in Edo State. Now, after a while, I saw it as a reality based on even the father of faith, the Daddy Gio of Redeem, Pastor Adeboye, confirmed that it was the will of God. I later accepted it as the will of God, because had he been Obi were responding to my messages I was sending to him on his WhatsApp, I don't think what happened would have happened. So Obi's failure to identify me as a spiritual head of obedient movement, despite the fact that in all our rallies there was no casualty. I was the one standing in gap, interceding for all obedient across the whole world. All the rallies organized across the whole globe, there was no issue of one accident. Nobody broke leg, nobody broke hand, there was no loss of life. So it was obvious that God was answering my prayer. Now, when I realized that Obi's failure to listen to me is what led to why Tinubu was declared the winner. So I later began to write out key solutions, applications for Tinubu to succeed in his government. Seeing that the Supreme Court, the tribunal, the judges, they have failed themselves and their families, they have failed the system, they have failed the judicial system. Seeing that the VC, the vice chancellors that were returning officers to each state, have also failed themselves and the institution they represent as a professors. So therefore, I decided to accept it as truly the will of God, because I wish Obi listened to me. Obi would have been sworn in, because as at November 23rd, 2022, I gave Obi the mantle to liberate Nigeria in the realm of the spirit. And every other thing that happened is in that video. Summarily, you trace my S handle, former Twitter, at King Destiny Praise, instead of Praise, because there was no more space. It's now at King Destiny, Pra1, Roman figure 1. Then you will see my pictures on my wall, my profile, and every other thing. Trace it back to February 28, 29, when they declared Tinubu the winner. Trace it back to May 29, when they sworn in him. Trace it back in days. I've recommended, if you must win an election in Nigeria, you must win from the unit to the ward to the local government. I've recommended and tagged Tinubu or his social media handle as a president, as an individual, at official BAT, and his media head that for you to secure Nigeria, you must also secure Nigeria from the unit level to ward level to local government level to the state level. What did I suggest? I said, get a joint task force of all the paramilitary. Make sure there is one patrol van to each ward. The numbers of the ward in each local government determines the numbers of the joint patrol van in the local government. The same way INEC have the numbers of all the wards in Nigeria, that is how they collate to declare a winner. The same way anybody that can secure Nigeria, we also secure Nigeria from the ward level. But if he is a man of wisdom, I cannot be appointed or employed by any man born of a woman. I have served a lot of people. They failed me because I realized it's not Yahweh, Jehovah God that created the whole world that they are serving. Based on that, men has failed me. But whatever God has placed in me is my responsibility to always use it to improve the society, especially being a Nigerian. So I've been saying this. When Tinubu went to France, I wrote letter to the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, the Director General of DSS, the Inspector General of Police, and the Commandant of the Nigeria Civil Defense Corps when he went to France. That is when they called him and said they were planning coup. I wrote and I recommended this. I availed myself and my team that we're going to avail. I said they should give us a joint task force. Let me go around the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to announce to the bandits that they must surrender and hand over, because this is a divine time for Nigeria to be liberated. I will lead as the civilian man of God to liberate. I preach, and everyone will come and renounce in the stadium. Before I left Benin on the 27th of January, I submitted a letter at the governor's office on the 25th recommending what to do against the cultists that are killing themselves in Benin, how to secure Edo State, to liberate Edo State. Till today, I never received a message from the governor. I left Benin on the 27th to Abuja. Now, all these, the letters I wrote to these paramilitaries, I have not received a call. I've been tagging the defense secretary in my Twitter handle. I've been tagging the Inspector General of Police. I've been tagging the Director of DSS. The same way I'm tagging the President. That is how I'm tagging the Senate President. But these people say I don't belong to what they belong. They said because they are not serving Yahweh that created the whole world. Because I'm a child of light, light and darkness have nothing in common. They said they will not listen. Now, what I've been telling them secretly, the letters I've been writing, that when people came from France, I personally went to Aso Villa to drop the letter. I got the first gate. They said they will not allow me pass the second gate. I will get to the second gate, and they directed me to the office. One Mrs. Tawo acknowledged my copy and stamped and signed and gave me a copy of my letter for recommendation on how to secure Nigeria, because there is no way we can be prosperous without security. No matter the numbers of fertilizers you brought, what the farmers are harvesting today is less than 10% of what they used to harvest. It is not because Nigeria land is no more fertile. It is because the bandit, the Boko Haram you have driven away from the northeast, they have spread across all the middle belt and the northern region. As a matter of fact, across all Nigeria. Now, the only way for us to be liberated from this crisis of hunger, stagnation, inflation, one, it is discipline. How do we discipline? First and foremost, no soldier should be idle. Every military man must become a part-time farmer, and every farmer must be trained to become a part-time security officers. Farmers must now begin to carry AK-47 and AK-49. The government must constitute a comprehensive agricultural program mandatory all the local government in Nigeria to have a farm. Any local government that is already developed will go and acquire a land from a rural area and will be managing the farm. The government must become, they must invest in agriculture. It's not to sponsor, it's not to give farmers money or give farmers fertilizers. Government must have a farm. The late Brigadier General Samuel Ogbemudia, former Bender, Midwest Bender State, when I was growing up, I used to see people working in Ogbemudia farm. They said in the days of those military era, the farm belongs to the government. But as he was retiring, or as whatever happened between the military that they were about to transit to the civilian, he personalized the farm to himself. And these farms existed in the 90s. People were working there, poultry. Obasanjo has a farm.
Before the end of this video, I'm going to go behind my house. You see the garden. You see where I'm doing. I have my own farm in my garden. Now, all local governments must be productive. Local government must invest in agriculture. People must be employed in the government farm, government warehouse to preserve the produce, for processing, for storage, for preservations. Fidel Castro of Cuba led Cuba for 50-something years with agriculture. He was the first president to be a minister of agriculture. That is where Buhari claimed that he will be a minister of petroleum. What was the impact? What was the difference? Tinubu is claiming to be the minister of petroleum. What is the outcome? What is the difference? This is what I've been telling them, that they refuse to listen. If you want to solve the problem of Nigeria, 9 months, Nigeria problem is solved. He was saying recruit 1 million people into the army. How many has he recruited? Nigeria needs massive employment in agriculture and security, because the situation is that these people that are going to surrender their hands, they must be engaged and be employed. So if you are a professional farmer, you will be trained to become a part-time military officer. Just like you can see these days, vigilante in every state and local government, most of them are all professionals in their own areas. I even see some pastors being members of vigilante. That is how we can improve in our food produce. I saw the Niger State governor stopping the major buyers of their food produce because they used to buy and export to Niger. Nigeria can feed the whole world in 9 months. If Tinubu had listened to me in the beginning, 9 months after Tinubu regime, Nigeria would have been the highest exporter of agri produce. The Sabisa forest that is wasting away can become the federal government farmland that every soldiers assigned there, every paramilitary man, Mopo, Navy, Air Force, anyone that is meant to be in Sabisa forest must become a part-time farmer. When there is any security challenge, they drop their house and their hoe and carry gun and fight the war. Every farmers that will be employed in Sabisa forest, that will be residing in Sabisa forest, must be trained to also be what? A soldier. Only Sabisa forest can feed the whole of Africa. Every state government must have their farmland in every aspect. Is it in poultry? Is it in fishery? Is it in anything at all? The government must have, the state must have, the local government must have, and the federal government must have. And before you know it, the concentration on the oil, the crude oil, it is what has made our government become irresponsible and become idle. They just fold their hands and wait for allocation. They are now beginning to point accusing fingers at each other, accusing the governor of Edo State being a PDP that received 11.something billion less than 3 weeks ago. It should come and account. This, if the president has a vision, everybody will be key into the vision. If you make me your advisor, I don't need your salary. What matters is listen, because I was 10 years old when I began to pray that God should give me double portion of Solomon's wisdom, because Solomon could not keep his own part of covenant. When he asked for wisdom, God said, no man before you and after you will ever have it. And I've given you the wisdom that no man will have. He said, but notwithstanding, because you did not ask for the life of your enemies, because you did not ask for fame and glory and riches, he said, I've also added that to it. And the Bible said, towards the end of the age of the life of Solomon, Solomon was manipulated, distracted, and he followed the gods of his wives and concubines. He was no more in good alignment with God. Therefore, Solomon could not keep his own covenant that God has instituted in his life. And before I was born in October 10, 1978, no man between the age of Solomon, before Jesus, apart from Yeshua Messiah, that they called Jesus Christ, that died and rose again, that can claim whatever Solomon had. That after the days of Jesus, I am the one that have been seeking, pressing God, double portion of Solomon's wisdom God gave me. From childhood, I don't know why I was going through all the spiritual problem and oppression and suppression, disappointment and betrayals and frustration. But while I was contesting as local government councillor in 2011, it was 7 years ago, local government in Benin City in Uselu, and I had an encounter because the politicians were trying to change my destiny. They wanted me to backslide from being a man of God, a priest ordained from above, to fulfill Psalm 110 verse 4, that he has sworn and he has declared that I'm a high priest forever. to fulfill Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6 to 7. Unto us a child is born, a son is given, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. They want me to become a local government councillor. And from there, they begin to recommend for me to go and join Ugboni. I said, what I have known about my life, and my God, it is too late to go back. Therefore, a lot of things happened. And everyone that knew me, that knew me, knew that since 2011, there has been war. And people begin to claim they are major prophet. That is why you need to go and watch that my live Facebook. I went to TB Joshua. I went to Redeem in 2021. I went to TB Joshua Church 2014 and 13. They are all in live, my live Facebook. And I'm going to post my Facebook handle while I'm posting this video and my S handle so that you people can go back and watch that my 3 hours publication of. So you can know what has been going on. People are claiming major prophet. In 2011, Suleiman have not gotten private jet. Mercy Land was not even there in the picture. I have been the one standing in gap. 2014, Ebola came. I stood against it. 2020, COVID-19 came. And at the end of the day, they were projecting phase 2. I ran to redemption camp. I stood against it. I went to Dove Television to tell them whom I am. What God has for me, they said I should pay. That they are there for commercial purpose. And I stood against COVID-19. Just 3 days back, somebody was asking those that did not take the injection, what has now happened 3 years later? And those evil United Nations and World Health Organization were predicting that anyone who did not take the injection will not survive 3 months. The problem of Africa is that the African leaders refuse to be independent on their own. So, and how can Tinubu tell us that International Monetary Fund is the one telling him how to lead Nigeria? Which money is Tinubu looking for that he has not gotten? He told the traditional rulers that he used his personal money to make himself the president of Nigeria. I have treated all those things. Now, the 2 key points to liberate Nigeria, though I have declared, but about October 10th this year, which is my birthday, there's going to be a divine coronation. I do not more need Israeli acceptance because it is belong on air. Even I'm used to follow them on YouTube when their old prophets have been declared that the Messiah have been born for the last 30 years, and they have been praying and waiting for the Messiah and telling the Messiah to come. But it is like there is a tribalistic a game. Maybe they were expecting somebody with a white skin. So now the Bible said in Revelation chapter 3 verse 12, him that overcome, I will make a pillar, I will give a new name. So he did not specify that a son of David, an Israeli, must overcome. All these things has been treated in that my live Facebook video. So in Revelation chapter 21 verse 7, it repeated, he that overcome. So I am the one that overcome. How did I overcome? My love for humanity. All I have made in my life, I have given back to humanity. If by hard work, what I have used my hand to achieve, if I have been selfish with it, I believe I would have been one of the richest men in Benin. I've given back to humanity. Secondly, people that jump into ministry yesterday, they always jump here and there, compromise standard to become famous. They go back to the Illuminati, they go back to the Antichrist, and they go and take something and be using, and they are celebrating private jets. They are now celebrating oil where some are now planning to go and build refineries. These are the people that are claiming to be pastors who are supposed to liberate people from poverty, from frustration, to give hope to the hopeless, to be a father to the fatherless, to be a husband to the widow. These are people that is preparing people to go to heaven. These are the people that is accumulating wealth for themselves. So all these things were treated in the video. Now, the key point is that I wish Tinubu started where he copied Peter Obi's statement, subsidy is gone. He did not prepare. Even after he was declared the winner, he knew that subsidy must go because by the 2023 budget, fare were only to be subsidized in June ending. So Buhari already removed subsidy and everybody were prepared. But there were alternative means. All these things has been treated. Tinubu did not do anyone. Now by May 29, 3 months after he was declared winner, he has no vision. And after a year and 3 months, 15 months later, Tinubu is telling stories. He's telling stories how to buy fertilizer. where Obi was emphasizing that the entire land of the north is enough to feed the world with agriculture. Because they have turned Nigeria politics to, if you don't have money, you go nowhere. How can INEC waste 430 billion naira for such an election that they could not transmit live because they were going to allocate votes? I've treated all that. So now, the first key that Tinubu missed was the area of agriculture and security. So if you have SA, maybe senior special assistant, he needs special advisor. He needs somebody like Obasanjo. He needs somebody like me. He needs people that have something to offer this generation. So I have, out of anger, I have told my father the earth is ripe for harvest because of what the European Union is projecting. The European Union is eagerly and hurriedly and speedily trying to pollute the entire Africa, just like the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, so that when the Lord come to harvest the earth, no Africans will make it. That is why they are now pushing all African leaders to sign the gay rights law, so that when you are in your commercial vehicle, a man and a boy, or a boy and a boy will be kissing. They can mess up. They can even they have rights now to do anything. Girl and girl, girl and dog, dog and human, a man and dog, a woman and dog. Now, when I released my first video in 2021 November, they said I was Antichrist, but I did not concentrate on what the role of the Pope in this generation. The Roman Catholic were established as a court, and they indoctrinate the Bible in the form of church. So the 90% of church in this generation are not serving Yahweh, because the man that died on the cross, his name is Yeshua, the Messiah, not Jesus Christ. The gods of the Roman Catholic, his name was Zeus to Zeus before they translated to Jesus. Jesus was not born December 25th, he was born in October. Now they were celebrating their festival in December. They took the birth of Jesus to December. They first to say Merry Christmas to show that Jesus was born. Later they say Merry Xmas, meaning there was none. Only God knows what the owner of Twitter mean by taking away Twitter and putting S. S represent nothing. So now all these are the things that the Roman Catholic Church have projected, and the Pope, by this is decree that the priest of the Roman Catholic begin to bless man to marry man, bless woman to marry woman, bless any man or woman want to marry animal. He proved that he is the Antichrist. That is why anybody that must win an election in America must go to Rome, and Rome is not supposed to be the headquarters of Christianity. So the Antichrist has been on even after the death of Jesus. It is the Messiah that the real Jews, the so-called Orthodox Church in Israel, are waiting for. And the person that will prepare Yeshua, who died on the cross, they call Jesus, to come and harvest the earth, must overcome. So I am not Yeshua that died on the cross that you call Jesus Christ, but I am the one that overcome according to Revelation chapter 3 verse 12. I am the one that overcome according to Revelation chapter 21 verse 7. I'm the one that the Lord has placed the government of the day on my shoulder. And since 2:11 I've been talking, and they said they will not hear me. And I have no more business with them, and I'm going to begin to speak to the world. But notwithstanding, they have provoked me to the extent that I have told Yahweh to prepare. I have told Yeshua to prepare. On my birthday on the 10th of October, I put on the crown of him that overcome, and I will call on Yahweh to harvest the earth. It is either they listen to me, as I'm beginning to receive call all over the world from friends and family and fans begging me to suspend the rapture of the earth. That is why there's going to be a video I'm going to send now. I videoed the former one, Grace Way Intercessory Prayer Fellowship. Since I got to my house match last year, that is what I have been begging God. Change narrow way to Grace Way. If narrow leads to heaven and broad lead to hell, Lucifer will be happy, because majority will end in hell. I say, Lord, change it to Grace Way. Let me have time to tell this generation, as in the days of Noah. Even Jesus taught it in Matthew chapter 24 verse 30 something there, that is so shall it be in the days of Noah. So Noah was preparing the ark. People continue their jubilation and celebration, and suddenly
as the rain was about to come, Noah entered the ark. I begged God. People have been saying, why do you have to keep it to your birthday? I said 3 months is enough. I started this message since July 5th, July 7th. And it's over 3 months till October 10th. So everyone should be prepared. And I've said the Lord Yahweh, Jehovah, is the father of Ishmael, is the father of Isaac. Why? When he promised Abraham Isaac, Abraham begged for Ishmael. He now says, seeing that Ishmael is also your son, notwithstanding, Ishmael also shall be great, and 12 princes shall also come from Ishmael. I went to Israel embassy September 4th. I wrote a letter telling them of whom I am and what I'll be doing, telling them that the Lord have a message to Israel. They were supposed to sponsor me to Israel because I released a video in YouTube in Lagos before I got to Abuja. The Israeli have gotten every information they needed. As soon as I land their embassy, they used drone to video me, and they said I should go and mail the letter. I posted the letter through the post office, and they never replied me, and I emailed it. And I reminded them again the second time I emailed why the government of Israel are benefiting from the system of the world. The European Union, the World Health Organization, the International Court of Justice, the United Nations, they are all serving a goddess, not Yahweh. So because they are serving a goddess, therefore, their law is in favor of women, and their law is in preparation of this earth for the devil, which is Lucifer. And there is no way a man like me will be in this generation that the third world war will come. None of the believers of Yahweh will be caught with the third world war. I have been the one standing against the third world war. With the action of the Russia invading Ukraine, and the United Nations could not do anything because Russia is one of the five, the G5, with the way the Gaza treated Israel, now that Israel is overstaying in that land, killing civilians, the United Nations could not do anything. The International Court of Justice have not caught Buhari. How the Fulani herdsmen set up a task force that were slaughtering and burning people and villages, and the Miati Allah will come out to say they are responsible. You kill one cow, we will kill 10 human beings. And Buhari was the president of Nigeria. Until tomorrow, the International Court of Justice have not called Buhari to come and account for innocent souls that were slaughtered for cow. All these things that has happened in this generation, I have all the record. And the time is coming, and the time is now. It is either rapture happen on the 10th of October, or as they begin to beg me not to bring down the rapture, for the Yahweh not to harvest the earth, because the European Union is pressing African leaders, and majority of them have signed the LGBT rights law. And I don't know what African leaders are hoping to get from the European, whereby European Union, the Europeans are the one responsible for the oil theft in Nigeria. If not for the military that took over in Niger, nobody knew what they were going through in the hands of France. So, two key. If I was the president of Nigeria in May 29 last year, 9 months later, Nigeria would have been the highest producer of agriculture. Will be exporting the highest agriculture in this generation, and Nigeria would have been the most secured country in the world, because two massive area of employment is agriculture and security. And every security officers must be a part-time farmers, and every farmers must be a part-time security officer, be you male or female. And as the way it is now, every legitimate Nigerian who desire to carry arm will be licensed to carry arm legitimately. Is it that you belong to the security level in your unit, in your ward, or in your community, or at your local government level? At every level, everybody must organize themselves to secure themselves. The government must release vehicles for joint task force patrol for every single ward in Nigeria, and this thing is achievable. But Tinubu have wasted billions for nothing. They said they were going to complete a house that was already roofed in the days of Jonathan for vice president. The wicked that said they were not going to remove the roof, they are now saying they have wasted 22 billion. The last time I heard, the vice president has not moving. They asked the vice president is using in Asoro, they wasted 7 billion. His guest tax in Lagos, they wasted 5 billion. If they have invested 30 billion in agriculture, 9 months later, do you think Nigeria will be thinking of inflation? Buhari answered the cry of the rice farmers to stop importation of rice. Because they stop importation of rice, Nigerian local rice, it increased to 80,000 naira. Okay, why have they not opened the border for the importation of foreign rice? Let the two markets compete.
And let's see whether the local rice will reduce. Why will Tinubu come up and reopen the border in Benin Republic to Lagos only for importation of cars? Tinubu said he's coming to emulate MKO. How come Tinubu have not released his own subsidized product? Before the election, MKO already have his product in market at a subsidized price. Cowbell, umbrella, paste, MKO products were there. You are not telling us you release 20 trucks to each state to distribute as rice. Is that how you are going to reach out to the people? Don't you know the governor will send it to his party? You are not telling us that every state is going to employ 7,000 people in the new ministry. If you times 7,000 people times 37, how many will it give you? Did you use 1 million votes to win Nigeria election? So you cannot boldly create a platform that can employ 10 million Nigerians in a year. And I tell you, with this agricultural and security vision, you can employ more than 30 million Nigerians. Because the system will be demanding more. No land, no green land in Nigeria should be idle. God intentionally blessed Nigeria with a fertile land. And I know until that crude oil dried up in Niger Delta, for fairness, equity, and justice, if you want to practice federalism, every state must be independent. They must be in charge of their resources. But let's say, as a man of God, if I happen to be a president, I have said it, I've recommended to Tinubu that Nigeria is a 6 nation in one. The only way is to write a fresh constitution. Is either you have 1 prime minister and 6 presidents, or you have 1 president and 6 vice presidents. Nothing I have said they have taken because they say I don't belong to what they belong. Because I do not suck the mommy water breast in the river they used to suck. And the pastors, the leaders, the traditional rulers and the religious leaders in Nigeria in this generation have not been able to convince me if there is a difference between them and politicians. Because the politicians are looking up to traditional rulers and the religious leaders, and these people are more corrupt than the politicians. So, since Tinubu is confused, he doesn't know how to lead Nigeria, I expect him to come and see me. Gone are the days I went to Aso Rock to submit a letter. Gone are the days I have traveled to Niger to really see what the Amajiris were going through by road. Day and night I was on the journey. I don't need to bring out money. Just buy bread, they will surround you. Buy akara, they will surround you. Buy anything at all, eatable, they will surround you with a plate on their neck. I know what the innocent Nigerians are going through. When Nigerians begin, when every local government have their farmland, every ward have their farmland, I recommend to Tinubu to have a warehouse, government warehouse in every ward containing subsidized food products. And anybody that must buy from that warehouse must be a registered voter. Means you must be above 18 and you must be a responsible Nigerian. How many Nigerians has a voter's card? So, if Tinubu is claiming to have brought 20 trailers of rice to every state, why should you give it to any governor? Why don't you get the warehouse and let all the voters in that state, the people that have the state in mind, the people that have the nation in mind, the people that is contributing to the growth of the nation by participating in everything that they ought to do is election, they will come out and vote. Why can't you do that? So that when they come with their voters card, it will be registered. If it is only 1 bag of rice you are expected to buy with your voters card, so shall it be. And it will be there. It will be showing and reflecting. Just like when you voted, it will show. How Mahmoud and all the vice chancellors in Nigeria declared Tinubu the winner, we are aware. The 400 billion Mahmoud wasted, he has not accounted. Till tomorrow, Mahmoud is still the INEC chairman. Somebody posted that EFCC that was prosecuting criminals or ex-governors and senators, the chairman is now in prison. All the former governors and former senators, out of 48 that Tinubu appointed, 39 have case with EFCC. Out of that 39, how many are former governors? This is the system. So what has happened now is just a testing the microphone. If they don't listen to me before 10th and the people beg me that the Lord should not harvest the earth, if the Lord give me a new direction, I will begin to tell Nigerians how to lead our leaders. Now that the leaders choose to be a ruler, we the people will lead you people that is meant to be a leader, and you people will become our followers. So now his wife only have a vegetable garden in back of her compound in Aso Rock. So after 15 months, Even the energy vehicles you claim you have bought, even the so-called importers of fuel that said they were going to support to convert all the vehicles to energy gas, nothing. The buses I saw in Eagle Square before I left Abuja in June 9, I realized that they have been there for long. None of the energy bus has started working in Abuja after a year and 3 months, and you are coming to promise 100 Nigerian commercial buses that you will do free conversion for them. Tinubu, are you deceiving? Tinubu, who sent you message when you were crying and said Yoruba le kon mi lo kon? I said it that you will be worse than Buhari. Buhari's weakness was because he listened to the Fulanis. He did not allow Osibajo to play the role Idiagbon played in his time. It was Idiagbon, any glory Buhari had in his military days, it was Idiagbon. Osibajo was also positioned to have done that, but the Fulani turned the government of Buhari to Fulani government. It is because of the iniquity of Fulanis, that is why Atiku could not get more votes. Because Hausa have to liberate themselves and say, no Hausa Fulani. Hausa must be free from the hand of Fulani. So, the earlier you wake up, the better. Begin to prepare, because there is never a time Nigeria will not become, all the 6 regions will not be independent. It is that they are going to be indirectly independent by having 6 vice presidents, or they are going to be directly independent by having 6 presidents with 1 prime minister. And I keep saying it, that the earlier you people cooperate and begin to listen to me, the man the Lord has given a solution to bring peace to this generation, the man to prepare the way for Yeshua Messiah to harvest the earth, and everyone that survived, that see, that witness the manifestation of Yeshua Messiah on earth will live for 1,000 years of peace, no death, no sickness, no affliction, no sorrow, no hunger. I am the man. I hold the key. And if you want me not to call my senior brother Yeshua Messiah Jesus Christ, you want me not to call my father Yahweh, you must listen to me. I am the man that has come with double capacity of Solomon's wisdom. I am the man that has solution to any problem at all. In any of my social media handle, message me for any problem, I give you solution immediately. So Tinubu refused to listen to me. In all my tagging, just that day I declare, I have tagged all the international community, America president, I've tagged the United Nations, I've tagged the World Bank, I've tagged all of them and told them, you people, your game to inflate Africa, to pollute Africa, so that when rapture come, Africans will perish with you people. And they predicted that Africa will perish more than the whites in the days of COVID-19, but reverse was the case. Now they are in a hurry. They know that 2 things will make you an enemy of God. If you violate his law, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, that if you bow to other gods from verse 14 to 68, you become his enemy. When you are a man, you go and meet man and knock man, you become the enemy of God. You are a woman, you knock woman, you become an enemy of God. So this is what the European Union is giving to Africa. And I don't know what they are promising to give them for them to sign. The other time they accused Tinubu government, somebody came out and said they have the form but they have not signed. But as I'm talking to you, I heard that all African leaders have already signed the gay rights law. So it is now giving man to marry man, nakba publicly and secretly is what is now important in this crisis of hunger, inflation, poverty, sorrows in Africa. No government institution is working because everybody is corrupt. The pastor is corrupt, the bishop is corrupt, the pope is corrupt. Your traditional rulers are more corrupt. They just still went to Aso Rock now to collect money. They are now coming to tell you that you should not riot. Ask me why have they not been subsidizing food for you? Their subjects. Ask me their impact in your life. Ask me what they have been giving to their people. But they receive allocation out of the general allocation being sent to the state. They all receive allocations in dollars. Why is Nigeria selling our product in dollars? Why can't America sell their product in euro or in pounds? Why can't Chinese sell their product in American dollars or the United Kingdom pounds? Every responsible nations have projected their currency. Nigeria is the only country that sell their product in foreign currency because all your leaders, your rulers, end up looting the same resources. It is only audio money. We only hear on voice, on record. This is allocation. Nothing, no sign, is nothing visible. Nothing visible. So Tinubu, you have failed yourself, and there is no more time. Whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are a pagan, have made your way between now and on the 10th. But on the 10th, I have the key. I call on my father to release
my elder brother, Yeshua Messiah, you call Jesus Christ, to harvest the earth. But as I'm receiving pressure, now you must begin to listen. I don't need to be your appointee. I don't need to be your essay. From my house, I advise you on what to do. You have hijacked the system. You have taken over the government by power because you bought all the system. You bought the judiciary. You bought the INEC. And when I was saying it in my Twitter handle that Obi has failed the youth, Obi that has them, the foot soldiers, just like it's now everybody is beginning to see. I saw it in one of the reels this morning when Edobe was now talking precious. That will be really fair Nigeria. You can see that when hunger pushed Nigeria, you see what happened. Buhari must go that emphasize that as soon as they declare Tinubu the winner, the next day we enter street and say Buhari must go. It happened in the days of Babangida. For Buhari to rescue his head, he will hand over Mahmoud to us. Mahmoud will give us the real results. But Obi was telling you he believe in the rule of law. I said, you think governorship election is like presidential election? You think, you know what it takes for a man to be sworn in as president? He become the chief, commander-in-chief of armed forces and the judiciary under him. Didn't you see how Buhari invaded the houses of these judges with mass DSS? Do you know the oppression? Do you know the threat? Let's talk of the judiciary that have been sidelined, that have been kept in one place in hunger, in poverty, and somebody is paying them billions in dollars. That you expect them not to compromise. So now I just said this is a testing on microphone. The next one, trace the vice chancellors that return every result of the state. Anything you know, when you know that the result they declare your state is not original. PDP confirmed that Lagos state result was 1,150,000 for Labour Party. Labour Party got 1,150,000 votes in Lagos. They gave Labour Party 570,000. Taraba, they declared that Labour Party got more than 1 million votes. They gave Labour Party 570,000. Is it not somebody that announced that result? Is that person not a professor? Is it not a serving vice chancellor of a university? So there are a lot of people you trace. All these judges from the tribunal that gave you Tinubu by force or by command, are they not alive? Are they not somewhere? Your House of Assembly, House of Representatives, your House of Assembly that is not coordinating your governor, they are not telling your governor to do the right thing. Do you not know their house? The House of Representatives and the House of Senate, the senators that is representing you, they are supposed to impeach Tinubu. Even as soon as he declares subsidy is gone in May 29 and inflation started immediately, knowing fully well that Nigeria has already paid for the fuel till June ending. And after all the budget for 2023, they brought in another supplementary budget for 2023. Imagine this year budget, compare what they have achieved. We are in August. Is there any sign of all the billions that they invested, that they budgeted for the year? So it's so unfortunate. So Tinubu must change his way. He must listen to people God has deposited wisdom in his life. Therefore, he must go back to agriculture and security. He must do massive employment in agriculture and in security. Until he do that, Nigeria will continue to mourn. Nigeria will continue to weep. Nigeria will continue to sorrow. Nigeria will continue to cry for hunger. You can see, here's my plantain and banana garden. Just expanding it, trying to expand it. See it? Those are the older products. You see this one? It's coming up. So are all Nigerians expected to be a part-time farmer? So are all Nigerians expected? That is cassava there. You see cassava there? And this, you see? So with this, if I cannot afford a bag of rice, I can buy some few cups because I have an alternative. You see all? See this? So no soldiers should be in the barrack. All soldiers should be in the area that is facing security challenges in those rural areas. And they are not just there to protect the farmers, they too will become farmers. The farmers they are protecting are not to be there as only farmers. They will also be trained to carry arms. As they are going to farm, they will carry their gun on the left hand, on the right hand, and carry their cutlass on the right hand. So who is coming to come and task farmers to come and allocate money for bandits will be prepared. Look at banana. Look at banana everywhere. All these are banana. You see it? All. So is all. Look at. You see them? You must be a part-time farmer to reduce the hunger. It is not enough for the pumpkin leaf. Look at pumpkin leaf now. That the first lady, she went to Yaradua wife. She did not know how Babangida wife took care of Nigerian women with that better life initiative. Look at banana. Look at plantain. You see it? This is what is expected from all Nigerians. See, they are all. See, behind it is a cassava, and there are still bananas inside. See, cassava farm. You see it? See it? So this is the garden of redemption. You need salvation, you need healing, you need deliverance, you need fruit of the womb. You come to this garden. It is just like the days of Yahweh in the garden of Eden. Because this is not Eden. This is the land of redemption, the land of solution. You see it? You see cassava, you see plantain. I have my breed seed. I have this. I have them. So don't be idle. You have no reason to be a failure. No reason to fail. No excuse. Look at plantain. Look at plantain. So all Nigerians must be a part-time farmer. Whether you are a doctor or you are a lawyer or you are a judge, you must be a part-time farmer. All the military personnel, the paramilitary, you must all become a part-time farmer. You see them? You see them? You see them? Ask me, can I eat all this? So when they are all due, I will sell some to buy what I want. I've never been employed all my days of life. It's business, business, business. But I saw the vision that things were going to go worse because I saw how Buhari started. He started a failure and ended a failure. And he remained a failure. And this Tinubu is the one that projected in and brought him. Tinubu has now failed more than Buhari. And Buhari knew the agenda that as soon as Tinubu comes, subsidy is gone. And he said Nigerians will remember him when he's gone. We are not remembering you for good. We are remembering you for evil, for wasting our 400 something billion naira for election that you know was not going to be credible, was not going to be transparent. And despite all, it was crystal clear and obvious that the obedient won that election for Labour Party. We won the election. I spent over 1.6 million. My drone of 1.2 million was crashed on October 1st when we did rally for Peter Obi in Ring Road. Just because we wanted to liberate ourselves. We put in on our energy and our resources. And I keep saying that because Obi did not spend his money, that is why Obi did not fight for his right. And he said we should vote and protect our vote. We protected our vote. Professors of universities changed the results. And Obi said he believes in judiciary. Judiciary that have been starved, that have been sidelined, that have been captured like servant boys. Have they not failed themselves? All the judges, are you no more a disgrace to your family? Are you now a disgrace to your people? It's unfortunate for you all. Thank you for now. This is an evidence what it takes to be a part-time farmer in Nigeria. All Nigerians must become part-time farmers. Look at cocoyam. You see cocoyam? You see them? We have all just behind my house. You see them? You see them? See some of the chicken? Don't wait for government. They are failure. They are the Antichrist. Your traditional rulers and the Antichrist. Your bishop that is buying oil well, buying aeroplane, who does not have an orphanage home. He does not have a free school. They are the Antichrist. Continue to serve your bishop that is going to hell. You think he will lead you to heaven? Be deceiving yourself. He knows that he's going to hell. This is pepper. He knows this is St. Leaf. This is yam. All behind my house. This punk leaf. Yam, yam. Wake up, Nigerians. Wake up. Wake up. There is no more time. October 10th is the deadline. Look at the cassava farm. You see it? You see it?